Hey gamers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ashnova Gaming and welcome back to the Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition. Now you might be thinking, what the hell is going on over here? We have completed the game, right? Well, the game is completed, the review and rating video is online as well. Now there is one last thing that we have to do with the Witcher 1 game. That is, here it is. We are going to check out the Witcher Decision Checklist. This is the fandom website. The link will be down in the description. You can definitely go check it out. So in this video guys, what we are going to do is we are going to check out each and every decision that are there in the game, and also we are going to see the decisions that we took and the decisions that we could have took and the consequences. It is going to be really fun. So let's just start. Okay. Do you really wish to know spoilers from the books and or adaptations to follow? That means that there are going to be spoilers in this game, spoilers in this web page. So if you don't want spoilers, I will definitely not recommend that. I recommend that you should watch the entire series. Alright, let's start. This page covers the decisions you have to make during the game and how they impact on the further story. Prologue, Kaer Morhen. So this is the prologue. Triss or Vesemir? Fight the Frightener or save the laboratory? So you might remember this is the very first choice that we have to take. So basically what is over here is in the Kaer Morhen, when while Geralt of Rivia was getting recovered, Salamandra bandits attacked for the very first time. They were there with Savola, Professor, and Azar Javed. At that time, we didn't know Azar Javed's real name, but we know that he was a mysterious and very dangerous mage. So their job, you can say, or their aim behind the attack on Kaer Morhen was to find the Witcher's secret mutations, which Salamandra is going to be using for further mutants, for creating mutants. So the very first choice that is we have got here is fight the Frightener or save the laboratory. Now the ambush happened from two different sides. First, Salamandra bandits attacked the main gate along with Savola, and Savola was controlling this giant beast goes by the name Frightener. So, and the second ambush that happened is from the back side, from the back door, Professor Azar Javed and along with them some other Salamander bandits went directly for the laboratory. And at that time, Vesemir gave us two choices. Either we can help Vesemir, Eskel and Lambert to fight the Frightener, or we can help Triss and Leo to go save the laboratory. So in the main game, we chose to save the laboratory. But if you, so there we go, you can see this. But if you choose to save the lab with Triss, you can loot a sapphire from Savola's corpse. Yeah, we got that sapphire. At the bridge in chapter 1, you will face the Salamandra only, no mutant dog, and the cutscene will be generally positive about your decision here. So that means that the very first decision that we took in the game was a positive decision. You might remember the bridge that they are talking about the bridge of the outskirts where Mikul used to stand guard. Now let's see what happens if we fight the Frightener. If you fight the Frightener with Vesemir, he will give you a red meteorite ore when talking with him later. Oh, so we would have got our hands on the red meteorite ore very early. Near the end of chapter 1 at the bridge, you will face some Salamandra and a mutant dog. Bro, that means I think Armored Hound, yeah. And the cutscene that plays will be generally negative about your choice. If we let them stay there, if we let Triss and Leo to go alone to save the laboratory, then the cutscene would be negative. That means that was a negative choice because there were three witches who could fight a Frightener, but there were only two people in the laboratory, and we would have fought an Armor Hound in the start. The only place where we fought the Armor Hound was at the ending when the chapter 5 was there, old Vizima times. Bro, that is actually very, very big difference. So we chose save the laboratory, okay? Now let's go. Chapter 1, Outskirts of Vizima. So there is only one choice in the prologue. Next, it is chapter 1, Outskirts of Vizima. The escort. Escort Vesna or not. Okay. Now, if you don't know, guys, Vesna Hood is the barmaid who was working in the countryside inn along with the innkeeper, that is, of course. And at night time, when I was going out there to light the candles that light the shrines that Reverend told us to do, we saw that Vesna was being bullied by some, gangsters, you can say, some normal thugs. So at that time, we have got two choices. Either we can save Vesna or we cannot. Either we should or we should not, something like that. So we decided that we are going to escort her. That was my choice in the game. If you escort her, you get the option to render words with her at the mill at night. Yeah, we did that. I remember. If you do not help her, the bandits kill her. That's pretty simple and straightforward. Vesna Hood doesn't have that much, doesn't contribute that much to the main plot. If she dies, if she lives, it is not going to be that much of a big difference. Racist encounter. Help Zoltan. This is the very first time where we met our old friend Zoltan Shive. We had got amnesia, so we didn't knew him. He was being bullied by thugs once again, just like Vesna, near the Herrenbrog's house. And at that time, we have also got the choice: either we can help Zoltan or we cannot. If you do not help, you do not get any XP. If you do, you get XP and gratitude from Zoltan. That means that if we help, if we do not, this decision is not going to make that much of a big difference, huge difference. We will get help from Zoltan anyway, but Zoltan, we will not get XP or any gratitude from Zoltan. Okay, so there is nothing much of a consequences regarding this decision. Okay, non-humans. Give arms to Scoia'tael during Herrenbrog's quest. Okay, this is a big decision. So you might remember Reverend told us that in order to get the pass, in order to get his faith, you can say, that he believes that we are up for the job, we are ready for the job. Reverend told us that we have to make three people happy of the outskirts of Vizima. These three people are the three strongest and the most respected people in the entire outskirts, and these three people are Odo, Herrenbrog, and Mikkel. Odo is the rich merchant, Herrenbrog is a trader at the sea through the seaports, and Mikkel is the city guard. So during the Herrenbrog's quest, Herrenbrog gave us the quest is that at night time we have to kill the drowners that were attacking its luggage, its courier, that he has to sell it to further people, further customers. But at night time when we destroyed all the drowners, Scoia'tael, that is right, Scoia'tael people arrived and they wanted those arms for themselves, and they told us that they had a deal with Herrenbrog, which means that Herrenbrog was a hawker. So at this time I decided, my decision was that I am not going to give them any luggage, and also I killed them as well. So I think these two is my decision, and this is not my decision. These two is my decision. See? Let's see. If you do not give the arms to Scoia'tael, Golan Vivaldi will be sent to jail when you go to see him in chapter 2 regarding the 2 books needed for the quest, A Mysterious Tower. Yeah, Golan Vivaldi got arrested by the city guards, by the Temerian officers when we met him in the temple quarters. We were looking for the books in order to look for hints on how to enter the Mage's Tower. However, you can bail him out for 200, then visit him at his home to obtain the books. The books cost 400 otherwise. Okay. The books cost 400. If otherwise it is 400 on, or else I can get that book for free, because he gave those books for free because I bailed him out. So I got 200 less. It was cheaper. It was cheaper. Killing the Scoia'tael allows you to ask Herrenbrog about Hugh, Zoltan's Scoia'tael friend, whom the dwarf had mentioned he was supposed to meet in the outskirts, but he did not get any information out of it. One of the Scoia'tael also has 4 begotric blossoms on him. This is not much of a big consequences, but this one plays a really big role, this one. Now let's see what happens if we would have given the arms to Scoia'tael. If you give the arms to the Scoia'tael, they will use those weapons to kill Coleman in chapter 2. Oh, okay. If you would have given the arms to the Scoia'tael, they would have killed Coleman. If you don't know, guys, Coleman is the Fistek dealer. He deals with Salamandra as well, but secretly he was working for Declan Llewellyn, another rich merchant, and spying on Salamandra, kind of. He was also working for Vincent Mice. This happens as soon as you go to the Hairy Bear Inn after speaking with the detective. So if you intend to complete the rat quest, go to the inn before speaking with Raymond, which can be a bit tricky to avoid. Okay, so in our first gameplay, you might remember we didn't went to Detective Raymond directly, we went to the Hairy Bear Inn because I wanted to save the game. Bro, it was a bit tricky to avoid, but we avoided talking to Raymond. However, we didn't give arms to the Squirtle, so it doesn't really make any much of a difference, but still, that is amazing. If you don't know, guys, Detective Raymond, he was the detective we hired in order to look for Salamandra bandits. Okay, fight Leo Destiny. Now, I seriously don't understand this. Fight Leo. If you fight Leo, you can get a red meteorite ore of him. 2 out of 3 conversation paths leads to Leo's ghost appearing. Okay, so in the this is actually the quest that is Dead Hand of the Past. You might remember in the outskirts we met Declan Llewellyn for the very first time, and he told us that he's looking for his friend who used to go through a secret tunnel that goes inside Vizima without a pass, because at that time because of Cationa plague there was a quarantine going on over there. So Declan said that his friend went into that cave but never returned, so he might have died. And he did die, and Declan told us that he needed a proper funeral. Well, the funeral happened, and at the funeral happened under the church of the Eternal Fire, and at that time we also met Eredin, the king of the wild hunt, for the very first time. Now, you might remember that at that time no Leo's ghost arrived, but off camera, when I searched about it, I found out that 2 out of 3 conversation paths lead to Leo's ghost appearing, and we could have had the opportunity to fight Leo. That's right, we could have fight Leo Leo's ghost if Leo's ghost would have appeared. And I chose those options because of which Leo's ghost never appeared. Okay. But since it never happened on my main playthrough, so I don't know anything about it. So if you fight Leo, you can get a red meteorite ore off him. Okay. 2 out of 3 conversations paths lead to Leo's ghost appearing. Alright. Next is Lesser Evil. Save Abigail or side with Reverend Odo and Harren. This is kind of, you can say, the final choice, I guess. Yeah, this is the final choice of Chapter 1 Outskirts of Vizima. When everything goes down and we decide that we are going to fight the Hellhound, we learned that Reverend, Odo, Harren, and Mikul, all of them are actually secretly working for Salamandra bandits, and we went inside the cave out of which where Alvin was trapped, and Abigail was also there. She was not trapped, she was hiding from the villagers. And at that time we have got two choices. Either we can save Abigail or we can side with Reverend Otto and Harren. At this point I chose save Abigail, but Abigail is also not completely innocent because she provided the potions, she provided the poisons because of which these guys were doing their stuff. So for example, Odo killed his own brother who was a freaking military soldier, and Abigail helped him through that. Mikul poisoned his own, I guess, girlfriend, and Abigail was the one who supplied him with the poison. So Abigail is not taking any, you can say, uh, she's not taking any responsibility for whatever she did. She just said that I'm just making these potions and poisons. I don't care at all about what these guys are actually doing, which shows that Abigail has a little bit of soft spot, not soft spot you can say, which shows that Abigail is not that kind of a woman who takes responsibilities, and she is also evil. But unlike Reverend Odo and Harren, she is a lesser evil because the main guilty people, the main sinners, were Reverend and the other three people. So that is why we decided to save Abigail, but we maintained a safe distance from her from that time. So let's say if you save Abigail, she fights with you against the beast. If she lives, you will meet her again in the chapter 4, and she will also help you fight in the epilogue. Yeah, that happened. You might remember in chapter 4, guys, in the chapter 4 where we teleported from the temple quarters to lakeside, we met Abigail in the hut that was next to the inn at the Murky Waters village. So we saw her for the second time over there, and the third time we saw her in the epilogue where we were going through those ice plains. You might remember Ted Derrard world that Jacques Gialdesberg created along according to his visions. We saw Abigail over there. She helped us by giving us, I guess, two or three swallow and tawny oil potions. Now let's see. If you do not save her, okay, she dies and you face the beast with a bunch of villagers. So instead of Abigail, we would have fought the beast with villagers. But having sided with them, you will not have to fight them after the beast encounter. Yeah, yeah. When we killed the beast and when we bid Abigail farewell for the chapter 1, that is Outskirts of Vizima, Reverend along with Ordo and Mikul, sorry, not Odo, sorry, not Mikul, but Haran, along with the villagers, attacked us and we had to kill all of them. But if we sided with the villagers, we wouldn't have to fight them. Also, a generic healer will be in the healers as in chapter 4, and you will have to fight Abigail in the epilogue. So you can see this decision is a very big decision. It literally changes the freaking character, literally changes the freaking person in the future part of the game, which is actually really amazing because there are some choices that have got so much of a big consequence, so much of a big effect in your gameplay that it literally kind of, we can say, changes the experience about how you are playing the game. Your choice in this decision alters the way in which the heat of the day quest in chapter 4 plays out as well, because this decision impacts whether you are someone who stays out of other people's business or tries to help others by getting involved. So the heat of the day quest, you might remember, that is the quest when Alina, you might remember, she was actually marrying with Julian, and Selena was a bit jealous of Julian's richness, and Adam was the one who loved Alina as well but couldn't marry her because her marriage was fixed. And the heat of the day mission where we have to help Julian, Alina, and Selena in kind of way. So I think this quest would have been altered as well depending on this one choice. So you can see chapter 1's choice is actually affecting a chapter 4's choice or a quest. That is really amazing. Chapter 2, Temple Quarter of Vizima. Chapter 1 is complete. Let's go to chapter 2. Fight alongside Siegfried or alone in the sewers, loner or not. Now, this is the very beginning of chapter 2. You might remember Mikul arrested us, he betrayed us, and we were arrested by Mikul because we killed a lot of bunch of people in the outskirts. We were arrested, and Vincent Mice put up a notice that if we kill the cockatrice in the sewers, then we will earn our freedom. So we decided that we had no other choice. We went into the sewers and we killed the cockatrice. While we were in the sewers, we very first time we met Siegfried of Denel. He was a knight of the Order of the Flaming Rose, and he was also in the sewers fighting the cockatrice. So we have got a choice over here that we can fight alongside Siegfried or we can fight alone in the sewers. Let's see. Choosing to join forces, yeah. Choosing to join forces with Siegfried will allow you into the dike with minimum of trouble, and the Order Armorer will be willing to deal with you. Right. You might remember when we were going into the dike, Siegfried vouched for us in front of those two watchmen, in front of those two soldiers that were over there, that we are an amazing man, we are a hero, and he helped us to go through the dike, and the Order Armorer was dealing with us. There will be a generic guard at St. Lebioda's hospital, and he will let you enter only if you have the city guard signet ring or with a bribe of 30 orens. I don't think I have bribed him. I think I might have bribed him once, giving him 30 orens, but otherwise I have to show him the city guard signet ring, which you will get from Vincent Mice. But let's see, if I choose to kill the cockatrice alone, I will walk into St. Lebioda's hospital with the minimum of trouble, okay? However, the Order Armorer will not deal with you, but the Dwarven Blacksmith will if you helped the Squirtle. The guards at the guards at the dike will let you enter only if you have the city guard signet ring or with a one-time bribe of 60 orens. Just imagine how many times I had to go to the dike. 60 orens, bro. Okay, now there is a catch over here. Just because if I fight the cockatrice alone, the order armor is not going to deal with me. But if I remain neutral, if I don't help Squirtle, the Dwarven blacksmith is also not going to help me at all. That is something. So you can see the catch over here. There are three different paths that we are going over here. The guards at the dike will let you enter only if you have the city guard signet ring or with a one-time bribe of 60 orens. Okay. Coleman. Decision. Visit the detective right away or start the inquiry on our own. Now this one is a really rare one. Consequences. This is only relevant if you let the Squirtle take the supplies in Strangers of Night. This is not relevant. This choice is not going to affect us because if we would have let the Squirtle take care of the goods, take the supplies at the Strangers of the Night quest, only then this choice would have been relevant. Okay? This is only relevant if you let the Squirtle take the supplies in Strangers of the Night. Coleman dies immediately after Geralt visits Raymond, which would prevent the player from starting the Rat quest. It is a minor side quest with zero plot impact. Yeah, Coleman does not give that much importance to, does not contribute that much to the story. If he dies, if he lives, it's not going to matter at all. If you go to the Hairy Bear Inn before Raymond's house, you will find Coleman there still alive. If you follow through to complete the Rat quest before visiting Raymond, you save 600 orens and 2500 XP, and Coleman is a source of Festac. We can buy and sell Festac to Coleman. Putting off talking to Raymond for too long messes up quite a few more important quests, not necessarily catastrophically, but inconveniently. Yes, this has happened to me, guys. Putting off talking to Raymond for too long messes up quite a few more important quests. It did messed up. Guys, you might remember, I think I did not mess it up that much, but guys, you might remember that we started talking to suspects all along because we were exploring the entire temple quarters. We were talking to people. We didn't talk to one person in the temple quarter exploration video. That was Detective Raymond. Or if we had talked to him, I guess we had talked to him at the ending of that episode. But I think I'm sure that we didn't talk to him. We talked to everyone else. We talked to Vincent Mice, we talked to Thaler, we talked to Vivaldi, and because of that, we got a lot of suspects. So you can say that we were actually going through this again. We were investigating our own stuff. We were investigating ourselves. We didn't hide Raymond during that, and that kind of, you can say, messed up the quest when, you know, Raymond got attacked at night time due to some salamandra bandits and he had to leave, and he said that he will give us some suspect list, but all of those suspects were already ticked out, and then he returned at that night only. You might not get what I'm trying to say over here, but that's because you might have not have seen the entire playlist. He came back at that same night and he gave the message at the same night that he is finally back so we can finally talk to him. He used to go undercover for some time, but he came back anyway, and we also know that Raymond that returned was not the real Raymond. Okay, the cannibal. Okay, now we are in the swamps. Kill or spare grams for being the cannibal. Now this one here is the very first quest that you can get in the swamps. The very first quest, oh sorry, hold on. Now this one is the very first quest that we can get in the swamps. Grams is a person whom we have to help to go to Melitelli. We have to escort him to Melitelli's statue or Melitelli's shrine, whatever you can say. So when we do that, we can go to his house, we can visit him, and when we visit him over there, we finally learned that Grams is actually a cannibal. That's right, he eat human meat, and at that time we can have two options. Either we can spare him or we can kill him. So at that point, I killed him. Yes, I didn't want that idiot to live. So if you decide to kill him, you will have to fight him at Echinopsis outside his house, but you will get more XP. Okay. If you spare the grams, you will get less XP, Azoth, and formula for hanged man's venom. That's nothing. I just wanted to kill that idiot. Besides, this is just a side quest. There is nothing. This quest does not influence the main storyline. This is the final mission, final quest, final choice. Decision: side with the Squirtle or the Order, or remain neutral. Refuse both. Before Force Recon, your actions regarding Harren Brock's quest in Chapter 1 may cause the dwarves not to deal with you. See, bro, that one choice is affecting the game. Look at that. This Force Recon, this is the mission where we have to kill a bunch of Squirtle warriors on the Golem burial ground where we fought Sentry in order to get the Sephira, ninth Sephira. So at that point, you might remember Siegfried of Denial gave us asked us for a favor, and the favor was that we have to lead a few soldiers of the Order of the Flaming Rose, and we have to attack the Squirtle warriors that were there in the uh, Golem burial ground. So I think at that point I chose the Order of the Flaming Rose. Yes, at that point I sided with the Order of the Flaming Rose. We helped Siegfried. After Force Recon, whomever you choose, the other side is not too friendly with you back in the town. Yes, the Dwarven blacksmith was not friendly with us. After Force, if you choose the Squirtle, the Order Merchant Armorer will not interact with you. If you remain neutral by not starting Force Recon, your relationship with both the Order Merchant Armorer and Squirtle's Blacksmith effectively be reset, and you will be able to interact with both of them until you progress further into the story. Oh, so I could have interacted with both of them. Okay, Siegfried seems unaffected either way. So no matter if I choose to help him, if I don't, he's going to remain neutral. Okay, let's see. Chapter 3, Trade Quarter of Vizima. We are at the 50, at this point we can say we are at the 50% of the game. Guardian. Decision, Shani or Triss? This was a really big decision, bro. So you might remember, guys, Alvin was kidnapped by Salamandra bandits from Saint Lebioda's hospital, and we saved Alvin, and we had two choices. Either we can either we can take the help of Dandelion and we tell him that please uh, escort Alvin to Shani, or escort Alvin to Triss Marigold. We chose Triss. Let's see. Seems to affect your romance subplot and the type of ending you may get. Whoever you did not choose, that person's second card will not be available to you. So there are two these cards, romance cards, that would be available. But I didn't even get Triss second card. I think I might have got Triss second card if I gave her that ring. I gave her an amazing ring. But I didn't. We were just lovers. I chose to remain neutral, nothing else. Okay. Whomever you do not choose will still be angry with you in chapter 5, but they will still help you or talk to you. Okay. That was happened. We chose Triss, so Shani was really angry with me, but she still helped me and she was still talking to me. That's nice. Also, if you leave Alvin with Triss in chapter 4, Alvin will go to the ruins and you meet the gambling ghost. Yeah, we met the gambling ghost in the ruins in chapter 4. If you leave him with Shani, he goes to the riverbank and gets a dog. Okay, that's nice. Whomever you choose will fight alongside you in the epilogue. Yeah, we chose Triss Marigold, so that is why she was fighting alongside me in the entire epilogue. It was not Shani. Taller. Taller, live or die. Now, this was a decision that we have to take. Taller was a fence in the chapter 2 temple quarters, but we learned that he is the head of the Tamarian intelligence agency. That's right. The freaking freak, the person whom I hated in chapter 2, suddenly became the most badass person in the entire game. One of the most badass person, that is. If Geralt saves him in the next conversation, he exposes the royal edicts. Thaler was the he is the leader, or he is the head of the Temerian secret intelligence agency. And in the chapter 3 we met this other person, the freak of the world, the person who I hate the most in this entire game. Even I like Jacques de Aldersberg more than this guy. It is Roderick Conduit. The freaking idiot, the scumbag, the person who I hate the most. First, he is the Order of the Flaming Rose soldier, and second, he's not even a freaking Northern Kingdoms guy. He is a Nilfgaardian soldier. He's a Nilfgaardian citizen. So you can say two evils in just one person. He is the biggest evil on this earth. He was saying that Thaler is fake person and Thaler is actually the one who is betraying the Temerian people and the Order of the Flaming Rose. And Thaler said that Roderick Count Duet is doing that. And also one more thing, Roderick Count Duet was the person because of whom Ada the White became Striga once again. So you can say he deserved death and nothing else. So at that point we have two options. Either we can save Thaler or we can let him die. So we saved Thaler. If Geralt saves him, in the next conversation, he exposed the royal edicts as fake and he will be in the royal castle in chapter 5. Yep, we saw that. Spoiler note in later games. Oh, no. We are not going to read that, guys. Or should I read that? Bro, this decision even alters the later games? I mean, obviously I said that, but should we read that? And you guys might have read it, so let's just read it. Sorry, guys. Even if Thaler dies, he will reappear in Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, regardless of your choice. Oh, in Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the final game. If you did save him, additionally in the Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings, you will get a package and a message from Thaler when you are in Flotsam. I don't know Flotsam, but we'll check it out in the next game. Okay. Blue Eyes. Side with Vampirus Patrick or remain neutral. Now this is the side quest that were given to me by Patrick Devaney in the New Naracortian. We met him in the New Naracortian. He told us that his sister is actually in the. We found out that his sister was actually working as a whore, as a lass in a house of the night, lady of the night, queen of the lady of the night, somewhere, and house of the queen of the night. Yep. And we are getting the choice over here that either we can side with the vampires. That's right. The lady of the night, the real person, the leader of that house, the owner of that house was a vampiress. So we had two choices. Either we can side with her or we can side with Patrick Devaney. If you side with Vampirus, you will have to kill Patrick and his knights. Blue Eye Lass will be grateful and stays in the house of the Queen of the Night. If you side with Patrick, you will have to kill all Vampiruses and Blue Eyes Lass will hate you. If you had this with Vampirus Patrick and his knights will show up to help. Either way, he will refuse to pay you. Oh, okay. If you had with Vampires that decide to remain neutral, both parties will attack you. Okay, so there are four kind of paths over here. Okay, let's see. If I had this with the vampiresses, but then I decided to help uh, Patrick, then I have to kill the vampiresses. Okay, that's okay. But if I have this with vampiresses and then I decide to remain neutral, both of them are going to attack me. The vampiresses as well, and also the frickin' Patrick Devaney, that means the Order of the Flaming Rose soldiers. Wow. Okay. But we didn't do that. The first side, the first was our choice. No. The second was our choice, but we didn't had this with the vampiresses. Werewolf! This was a really amazing quest, bro. Vincent Mice, the city guard, you can say the captain of the city guards, is a freaking werewolf. That's right, guys. He was a freaking werewolf, and that was a really big twist that I saw, that I experienced in the game, bro. That is seriously amazing. So we learned that Vincent Mice is werewolf during the endings of the chapter 3. So here we go. If you spare the werewolf and we didn't cure him, guys. We just spared werewolf mice. So this one. No. Yeah, this one. If you spare the werewolf but do not cure him, Vincent will fight with you as a werewolf along with some guards. Yeah, he fought with us when Salamandra assassins attacked New Narracott Inn. That was, I think, the final of chapter 3. Now let's check out the other quest. Let's check out the other consequences. If you spare the werewolf and cure him, when you enter the New Narracott Inn to meet with Triss and Llewellyn, Vincent will enter with a group of guards to find the salamander with you. Okay, so he will lose his werewolf form, but he will help us. Still, he will help us to fight the guards, fight the salamandra, but he will going to help us with the help of some guards as well. Okay, otherwise he will come alone. That is what happened. If you help Vincent, the novice nun will know about it in the epilogue and praise you. Okay, you might not know. You might not know the novice nun. She is the nun who seeked refuge in the house, refugee's house, while the streets in on the streets the Squirtle and the Order of the Flaming Rose people were fighting. If you spare the werewolf but do not cure him, Vincent will fight with you as a werewolf. Yeah. If you spare the werewolf and then proceed to complete the Beauty and the Beast quest, you get an additional 6000 XP in total. Oh, okay, 6000 experience points. But that's it, you won't get anything else. If you kill the werewolf, that means if I kill Vincent Mice, you will get XP 1500 XP and werewolf fur, allowing you to create the werewolf's wrath potion and unlock the predator ability. However, there is no possibility of completing the Beauty and the Beast question, which is of course. If you kill the werewolf when you enter the inn, you are arrested for Vincent murders and have to fight a bunch of city guards and a single Salamandra informer. Okay, so the Salamandra bandits are now going to go up against me. That means that they're just going to trick me. They're just going to spread the conspiracy that I killed the captain of the city guards and they are going to tell to the Temerian soldiers. Wow, that's nice. That is actually, you can say, quite smart of them. Killing Wilson will also replace him with another guard captain at the dike in chapter 5 who will detain Dandelion. Really? Detain Dandelion, though this does not affect any, actually have any effect on anything. Okay. So it's not going to do any effect. Alright. Bank robbery. Okay, side with the Squirtle or order at the bank. Now you might remember that the Squirtle were actually doing a bank robbery over there at Vivaldi's bank. A heist was actually going on the Vivaldi's bank, and at that time we had two choices. Either we can side with the Squirtle or order at the Flaming Rose. So in the first half of this quest, we took side of the Order of the Flaming Rose, but in second, no, we took sides of the Squirtle, but in the second part of this quest, we took side of the Order of the Flaming Rose. I seriously don't know what happened over there, but whatever happened, happened. Please don't ask me. If you side with Yavin, the Squirtle will fight with you during the battle with Azar, Javed, and the Professor. Oh, you might remember the secret hideout where we killed the professor and we also fought the Kikimore Queen, after which Ada accused us and we got teleported to the lakeside. They are talking about this one. So the Squirtle will be helping us to fight the Salamandra. But if you side with the Siegfried, the Order will fight with you. Yeah, the Order of the Flaming Rose will fighting with me. Opposing a faction during Gold Rush will bar access to their associated path in chapter 4. Example, if you help Yavin escape the bank during Gold Rush, you may only choose the Squirtle or neutral paths. Helping the Order during Gold Rush will only permit choosing the Order or neutral path. Oh, this is the ending of chapter 4th. Yeah, this one. This path. This is kind of the ending. You might remember that when we killed Dagoon and when we also killed Berengar, we came back to the mainland. We saw that Order of the Squirtle people are no sorry, The Order of the Flaming Rose people are here, and they were going to attack the Squirtle faction, who has now taken hostages in the Murky Waters village. And at that time, we had two choices. Either we can side with either of the faction and kill the opposing faction, or we can remain neutral, take Alvin out of it. So we remain neutral, and that is what they're saying over here. See, helping the Order, we helped the Order during the gold rush, so we could only choose helping the Order in the chapter 4 or pick up the neutral path. Okay, chapter 4, Lakeside. Conflict. Side with village, Vodunai, or compromise. This was the quest. This was the quest that happened for the entire chapter 4 Lakeside mission. That's right. There was some problems that had been going on between Vodunai, that are the people that live underwater, and the village. So there was a friendly Vodunai priest who was also helping us, and from the village side, Julian was the one who was representing the humans. So there were three choices. Either we can side with the village, that is humans, or we can side with the Vodunai, that is the Vodunai priest, or there was a third choice, that is we can compromise between the three of them, between the two of the factions. And if we want to compromise, we have to talk to the Lady of the Lake, who is a mythical creature in the Blackturn Island, and she will help us compromise between the Vodunai and the humans. So we got this one. If you achieve compromise, you receive the sword Aaron died from the Lady of the Lake. Yeah, we got a really amazing and strong silver sword Aaron died from the Lady of the Lake, which was a really great gift that I got from the Lady of the Lake, because I didn't actually had any amazing silver sword by that time. I had a new steel sword which was really beautiful steel sword, but I didn't had any silver sword. If you side now, let's see. If you side with the village, you get a large diamond from Julian as a reward. That's nothing. If you side with the Vodunai, the friendly Vodunai priest will reward you with a ceremonial sword of Deathwind, which you can get from a Squirtle remains just as easily in chapter 5, even if you are allied with them, as there are plenty of fighting in the streets. Yeah, we already had the ceremonial sword of Deathwind, because I already fought a bunch of Squirtle warriors. So both of these choices are not that really amazing. Thank goodness I decided to compromise. Kill Berengar or spare his life. We finally met Berengar in the chapter 4. Crypt. And we have got two choices. Either we can kill Berengar or we spare his life. We killed Berengar, that's right. In the main storyline, I killed Berengar. If you kill him, you get Berengar's medallion, which helped me a lot to weak down Azar Javed. Dagon Sab scroll, the Book of the Full Moon, which is formula for Shrike and Vampire Oil, in 866 orans. That is all I got. Now, if we decided that we do not going to kill him, we decide to spare him, we will get Dagon Sab scroll and the Book of the Full Moon, which is these two things. He also shows up to help fight Azar Javed. Oh, okay. That would have been nice, me fighting alongside him against the leader of Salamandra. If he also shows up to fight Azar Javed, but he's very a weak fighter. Okay. Alright. Path. Now this is a very big choice, and as you can see, the consequences are very big as well. What the hell, there are only two more choices left. Side with the Order, the Squirtle, or remain neutral. When the Squirtle took hostage the freaking people of the Murky Waters, the villagers, we had the choice to side with the Order of the Flaming Rose or remain neutral. So we chose the Witcher neutral path. So let's check out this. Both the Order and the Square Child will be enemies in Chapter 5. That's right, that happened. We will be able to escort some nurses to the hospital, and to make the armor, you will need to see Cockstein and get Agnes of Glanville's magic formula. Now you might be thinking which armor we are talking about. We are talking about Raven's armor. That was a really amazing armor that I actually got. See, Raven's armor. So in order to craft the Raven's armor, I have to meet Cockstein and get Agnes of Glanville's magic formula. Triss will fight with you through Vizima in the epilogue. You will face both Siegfried and Yavin. Yeah, that happened. And depending on your answers, you'll fight them or part in relative peace. Oh, oh, okay. I thought they were talking about the icy plains. No. The icy plains are over here. They are talking about Raven and Siegfried on the streets of Temple Quarters. Yeah, I remember. Yavin and Siegfried, they were both there. We met both of them. We faced both of them, and depending on my choice of voice, depending on my choice on the streets, we could have fought them, or we part with them in relative peace. Yeah, we part with them in relative peace. We didn't fight them. Yeah. I remember. We didn't fight with either Siegfried or Yavin. We part with both of them. In the ice plains, you have to fight their ghost. Yeah, we fought their ghost. Romance card available is for 2 nurses. We didn't get that. You will also be able to receive Raven's armor in Chapter 5, which gives modest bonuses to Vitality plus 75 and Endurance plus 15, as well as small businesses to Endurance and Vitality, Regeneration, and plus 25% resistance, in addition to minus 20% damage. Okay, that was a nice thing, and we actually got that. We got the Raven's armor. Now let's see the Order path and the Squirtle path. Order path. The Squirtle will be enemies in Chapter 5. You will be asked to kill more Squirtle than White Railer to make the armor. Oh, okay. You will need to see the Order armorer and gain Saint Gregory's Litany. White Rayla, you might remember. White Rayla was the girl who attacked the Squirtle warrior, Squirtle faction in the Murky Waters. Siegfried will fight with you through Vizima in the epilogue. Oh, alright. You will have to fight the ghost of Yavin in the epilogue. Romance card available is White Rayla's. You will also be able to receive the Raven's armor of the Order in Chapter 5, which gives a huge vitality bonus of plus 150 and bonus to vitality regeneration in addition to minus 30% damage. Nice. Squirtle path. The Order will be the enemies in Chapter 5. You will be asked to escort some refugees to the hospital, and to make the armor, you will need to see the Dwarven Armorer and get the bifunctional fiber and alloy recirculator. Yevin will fight with you through Vizima in the epilogue. You will have to fight the ghost of Siegfried in the epilogue. Romance card available is Chorovials. You will also be able to receive the Raven's armor of the elves in Chapter 5, which gives an endurance bonus plus 25 and a bonus endurance regeneration and a sign intensity in addition to minus 20% damage. That's amazing, bro. But see the order, the choice that is happening. This path, this is the path that you are taking over here. Where is it? Yeah, the bank robbery. This one decision from Chapter 3 is literally changing your experience of the entire game, bro. CD Projekt Red did a great job making this game. Chapter 5 Old Vizima, there is only one choice, the Striga one. Kill or save Princess Ada. We saved her. We decided that we are going to save her. If you save her, you will get the Steel Sword Diable and she will fight with you in the epilogue as the Striga. If you kill her, you will be able to make Striga's Urge Potion using her heart, gives 1 bonus and 1 silver talent, and Vincent Wales will fight with you in the epilogue as a werewolf. Unless you killed him as well, the Count Duet will fight with you. Thank goodness I didn't kill Vincent Mace, just in case if I killed Striga, bro. So what they are saying, if you save her, you will get the Steel Sword, okay? And Striga fought, Princess Ada fought alongside me as Striga in the epilogue. We saw that as well. But if we would have killed her, we would have made potions, that's okay. We would have saw Vincent Mace fighting alongside us as werewolf. That would have been so cool. But thank God I didn't kill him. Just in case if I killed him and Princess Ada both, then freaking Count Duet would have fought with me. That would have been the worst thing in the entire game. Seriously, I never wanted Count Duet fought a fight alongside me. No, no, not at all. Even in my dreams, he would have literally backstabbed me and ran away. Freaking idiot. I hate him. Epilogue. King of the Wild Hunt. The final decision. Let the King of the Wild Hunt have Jogs Gealdersburg's soul or not. In the final, when we beat down Jogs Gealdersburg, King of the Wild Hunt arrives, that is Eredin. He appears and he tells us that he is going to take the soul of Jogs Gealdersburg. But we are not letting him take But we are not letting him take the soul and we fought him. If you refuse by answering this is between him and me, then he will fight the king of the wild hunt who summons some wraiths for backup. You can collect the unique ingredient for wild hunt vapors from his remains, but only providing you kill him far enough from the Aldersburg. Oh yeah, I remember. Let's say, if you accept, then he does not fight you, meaning less experience, and he tells you that you knew Jax under another name but never specifies what name that was. This clearly mentions that Jax Jaldersburg was Alvin all along. Bro, my mind was blown when I learned that Jax Jaldersburg is actually Alvin. We saw the Dimeridium amulet, Jogs Jaldersburg saying stuff that we said previously to Alvin sound similar. That was amazing twist. My mind was blown. Imagine the kid whom we pampered all this time, whom we saved, who in his eyes we were the hero. That kid was the main villain of this game. That was the amazing twist of this game. So okay guys, that was all the choices that we took and the consequences that we faced in the game. Bro, The Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition was an amazing game. And now this was the final episode of The Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition. Unless something amazing, breathtaking doesn't arrive. Unless a bigger update or any big update doesn't arrive in The Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition, we are not going to touch this game at all. Okay guys, that will be it. Now I'm going to see you directly in The Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings Enhanced Edition. Thank you so much for watching this video guys. If you love this video, make sure to like it, share it with friends and relatives, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching guys. Take care everyone and bye bye.